Garoppolo's out. Their 6 leading scrimmage yards leaders are all out. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a running back. So it's San Francisco's going to lose this game, backup quarterbacks. None of the guys you saw NFC championship that touched the ball, none are available. COVID injuries. So every year I do something. I come out and I say, okay, there's 2 teams that were really good. They're not going to be any good. And I get just nothing but hate mail. This year we have 4. Had I said before the year New England would be bad, oh, wait, I did, you'd gone nuts, right? People were like, you're crazy. New England was good, they're no good. Minnesota was good, they're no good. San Francisco was good, they're now no good. Houston was good, they're no good. Now, they're all explainable. New England lost the greatest quarterback of all time. Houston was poorly run for years, it caught up with them. Minnesota's defense got worse, and they had to rely on Kirk Cousins, and he's not that kind of quarterback. And San Francisco, injuries ravaged. I think there's only one of those 4 that will bounce back. I think Minnesota's still stuck with Kirk Cousins. I think Houston's still poorly run next year. I think New England can get a new quarterback, but he's going to be 23 years old, and they have no speed anywhere offensively. I think San Francisco's a bounce-back team. And it's going to be interesting because they're going to have probably 3 options at quarterback. And we all acknowledge Kyle Shanahan is really smart when it comes to offense. Like, nobody disputes that. He's 4-0 against McVay with Garoppolo. His options are going to be go trade for Matt Ryan, who Shanahan has worked with. Go get Sam Darnold, probably only takes you a first or a second pick, or stick with Garoppolo. So Peter King and I are under the assumption, he came on yesterday, that the Garoppolo thing is done. He's had too many injuries. Kyle's not going to run this thing back again in the division with Kyler Murray. Jared Goff never gets hurt, and Russell Wilson. Here's Peter King yesterday.
Right now, if Kyle Shanahan is being honest, if John Lynch is being honest, all they can go by is what they see. When he's played, about half the time he's played at a C level. And last year, regardless of what the 49ers said in the playoffs, they basically, after he had his Steve Sachs, experience toward the end of the year, early in the playoffs, they went to the run. They love Jimmy Garoppolo, the person, but I think right now they're unconvinced about him as a quarterback.
So it's going to be very interesting in San Francisco, because I think their offensive and defensive line play is way better than average. I think their coach is an A. I think their GM solid. Their ownership solid. It's going to be, who does Kyle Shanahan like at quarterback? And for all the critics of Sam Darnold, this will be the test. Because Matt Ryan will be available for a price. We know Atlanta's going to get a top pick, and we know Atlanta's willing to move off their GM and their coach, and there's already been Arthur Blank acknowledging, we're not sure yet what we're doing. So this will be the test. For those who doubt Darnold, this will be the test. Do you want a pocket passer past his prime Matt Ryan, or this losing quarterback Sam Darnold that everybody in America doesn't like except me? Because we know that Shanahan knows offense. We know Shanahan is smarter than us with football. And I think this is the one team that has the personnel, just injuries, that will bounce back next year if they get the quarterback right. Who will they choose? Garoppolo, Matt Ryan, or Darnold? I'm going with Darnold. That's my gut feeling. And I would, too. Joy with the news.
No.
Turn on the news.
This is the Herd Line News.
Well, another team that's going to have to make a decision on their quarterback of the future is the Browns.
Yes.
Is he going to be with the team moving forward? GM Andrew Berry wouldn't give a clear picture on if they view him as the future of the franchise.
Honestly, I really don't get too caught up in that type of narrative. All I know is that I think Baker has played well, and he's done a nice job during these first 8 weeks. He's allowed us to play winning football. We've had winning football from that position. Expect him to keep doing that over the second half of the year. Look, we're going to be in a good place, as a team and organization, if that's the case.
Interesting answer. That was very vague and ambiguous.
I was listening very closely for Baker Mayfield is the future of the franchise.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Baker Mayfield is our quarterback of the future, or...
You didn't hear that, did you?
Yes. The Browns have to make a decision on the fifth-year option by the first week of May.
So they have the rest of this year, and After the draft. So they got, after free agency,
After
they
free
got
agency.
plenty of time.
Yes. Picking up Mayfield's option would cost them a projected $25 to $26 million in fully guaranteed money for the 2022 season. He is at 61.4 completion percentage, a little over 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and of course the Browns are 5-3.
With a great running game, an excellent offensive line, top tight end and wide receiving talent. All right.
If you look at his numbers, obviously last year I don't really hold against Baker because it was completely chaotic. But, you know, he's around what he was his rookie season, which was a good rookie season.
You watch Joe Burrow, Joy. Do you want the fourth best quarterback in your division?
Well, here's kind of where I am with this, though. If you pick up his option, obviously you're committing to him. But are the Browns going to be in a situation where they can move off of him? Like, what are the Browns' options going to be?
Well, they're going to play him this year, and my guess is they're going to play him next year. I think he has got another 25 games in Cleveland. But I go back to this. I say it constantly. You cannot have the fourth most talented quarterback in your division. He doesn't have the juice of Lamar, the talent of Ben, and he is clearly not Joe Burrow, who's playing with nothing and going to the wire against Baker head-to-head in games.
I don't disagree. I just don't know what the Browns' other options are. And I think a bigger picture point, what everyone is missing, is the Browns really missed their window. They missed their window when the Steelers were down and when the Bengals were terrible, and we weren't quite sure what the Ravens were. Well, now we know what the Ravens are moving forward, and I think Lamar Jackson is only going to continue to improve. Steelers are back, and the Bengals have the quarterback of the future.
No question on that last statement.
So
he is shocked. I thought he would be good. He is excellent so far.
You had an itty-bitty window to squeeze in there and take advantage of your
Would have been perfect if the
division.
Quarterback came out of college mature and ready to grow. But you had to deal with a lot of nonsense.
They had a lot of nonsense going on internally as well.
That's
Not
totally fair.
Totally on Baker Mayfield. But I do think if you had someone like Joe Burrow come into that situation, it might have gone differently.
Might have? Can you see Burrow with this group?
Well, Joe Burrow is quickly making a name for himself by putting up strong numbers so far his rookie season, and he still thinks he has a long way to go in the league.
I thought I would play well. There's obviously still a lot of room to improve, and I'm just scratching the surface on where I can be and where I can go. So that's the most exciting thing for me.
Love him. Absolutely love him. He's been fantastic.
I'm so glad you've come around, Joe Burrow.
Listen, it's, again, I'm not as impressed with a trust fund kid who says I'm a millionaire. Where did you come from? What is he dealing with? He's doing a remarkable job. He's a rookie of the year. To me, he's a rookie of the year. I think he's sensational.
He's tied with Justin Herbert, according to Fox Bet, plus 100 for offensive rookie of the year. Justin Jefferson's plus 1,800, Tua plus 2,000, and Chase Claypool plus 2,500.
I'd probably put Burrow 1, Herbert 2, and Chase 3. Chase has been great, but he is a wide receiver, and the quarterback position demands more.
Yeah, Chase would have to do something extremely historic, I think, to overtake Burrow or Herbert at this point. But what I like most about Burrow, and aside from what I already liked about him in the draft, is that he's come in and been completely quarterbackial.
Yes.
Which is what I expected anyway. But
Grown up.
He has dealt with,
Yep.
I mean, anyone would get frustrated getting sacked as much as he is. He's never said a word about it. He's completely a winner. And I think if you look at what's going on with LSU, now obviously they lost a lot more than just Joe Burrow, but
Yeah.
they're not doing well this season.
That's right.
So it is telling. You say all the time, what does a place look like after you leave? That does play a role in how good
LSU
you
with
were,
30 NFL guys. Look at them.
what you did to elevate that situation. So the Cowboys have not named their starting quarterback this Sunday against the Steelers yet. So Mike Tomlin is shifting his focus to another player ahead of the game this week. He said, I know Ezekiel Elliott has a lot of our attention and preparation, rightfully so. Common sense tells you he'll be a central figure in your game plan. Yes, I would agree with that. That is common sense, since they don't know who their quarterback is going to be, and it is Thursday. So Ezekiel Elliott is the main fixture of that offense at this point. He's had 132 carries, 521 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's also fumbled 5 times this season. But, Fox Bet has the Steelers favorite at 13.5.
I think you got to run from that game. They should win by 40. I'm not going to bet that game. It's a trap game.
Think about this, though. Mike Tomlin's talking about focusing on Zeke, and we already know what the Steelers' defense is. Look what they did with Derrick Henry and that Titans run game and offense. Like, what are they going to do to the Cowboys if that's what they're doing against the Titans and Derrick Henry, who are dominant in that phase of the ball? Like, what are they going to do? This could be like
40 to 3.
All-time bad game for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think it will be. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
My buddy Nick Wright